Friday. And just like that, boom, as soon as I love that feeling. It's like throwing out in the universe and letting the World Wide Web know that TwoSistas wants on and wants on now. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. You know what that means. It's Fantabulous Friday. We have Valentine's Day coming up. We've got lots of love in there, lots of things to chat about with. So this is Carol, so AKA Naughty Boss, Lady Canna, which Lady Canna is going to show you a couple items because, you know, it's Valentine's Day, you have to, with
TwoSistas. Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 3.0. Fantabulous Friday. We had an amazing week, and I gotta say, yesterday absolutely cracked me up. If you didn't see yesterday's broadcast, it is on our YouTube channel, or you can go to our Facebook page and watch it there. Now, I often say, quite often, I might add, that I'm always going to, I remind my sister that I'm, you know, hey, I'm in control of the controls. I'm the younger sibling, and I can mute your ass at any point in time. Well, I didn't have to do that yesterday because she was doing it all herself.
It was. Well, you know, it's so funny because we also multitask. Sometimes we incorporate our appointments or things that we got going on in our lives with doing our podcast and we also had a guest speaker, which FYI was amazing, but not a good but. Sometimes you have to mingle your life with what you're doing and you're passionate about in your industry and your business or whatever. And how many of you can relate to that? I'm sure you can. So anyway, yesterday morning, I get up, got some pickleball on, and I had a nail appointment that, you know, like most girlies and ladies, you book out your appointments, you know, in advance. And so when we were doing scheduling for our guests, you know, sometimes it interferes with that, and not interferes in a bad way, interferes in a good way, because we are showing with that to be an entrepreneur, to get your message out, to be passionate, to be helping others and impacting people. Sometimes your business life and your personal life kind of mingles. And so it did mingle, but P.S., check out the color.
Very nice.
I was having my nail appointment yesterday when our guest speaker was on. So I obviously was not in my studio office, and mishaps happened. So I didn't have my, you know, holder for my phone or anything because I was going on my phone on my computer. So we were balancing stuff, and she, you know, I wanted to make sure I kept muted because I do gel nails. Now, these are my real nails, but she uses, actually, I should say, gel polish. So she does some filing, you know, that's how she does her thing. She actually uses the instrument to file my cuticles, which is amazing because my cuticles have been so dry. But anywho, so it makes a noise, and she uses a fan to get all the dust and stuff like that to go right into the machine. So I kept, you know, muting, unmuting, you know, interjecting, whatever. And at one point, because the dust gets on your nails, I just kept, you know, was I muting, was I not? At the same time, because I'm on my phone, that you're getting alerts. So sometimes the alert is coming in exactly when you're trying to push a button, and the alert goes over the button, so you don't even know that you're hitting that button. It was a shit show for just a little while, but it was comical. The cool thing about really being authentically us and incorporating what's going on in our personal lives with our business lives is it also gives me the opportunity, and this is actually the second time that I've had a nail appointment when we've gone live and or I've had a guest. And it's great because, you know, our show is exposing the people that she's around, and she just loves it. I just sit there. Because she's so funny. It's Jess with Bellinami Nail Salon on 17th in Vero Beach. Amazing. She opened up her business right in the middle of a pandemic, a true entrepreneurial spirit. So kudos to Jess. But she actually has some questions for our guest speaker. So I flipped the phone around real quick so she could ask her a question. So it was very interactive, and it was just one of those. It's actually a very good subject matter I talked about. If you haven't seen it, real quickly, it's about, you know, resumes and putting yourself out there to find that right job and fit for you, and how do you go at it, selling yourself and not get just disappointed and too invested in these follow-ups. But anywho, she had great info, great personality, great vibe, and we just kind of all kind of mingled and chatted. It was just like a bunch of ladies chatting. It was so much fun. And what's even super exciting is she has a sister. So we are going to do a sister podcast. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes, it was. And what I love about that too is when we started this, I always go back to when we started Two Sisters and we decided to do a podcast because we have just so much to share that we are passionate about. But it just goes to show you that if you are passionate about something, especially in this day and age, digital day and age, why not start your own podcast? We don't have fancy equipment. I don't, well, at some point I do have to get a really good speaker thing. What do they call those things?
A microphone.
Microphone. Okay. I don't know. The name just escaped me.
And a lot of people wear the, the ear doohickeys, the ear muffs, ear buds, but like even the bigger ones. Because I actually have a friend who also started, her own podcast. Well, she's actually, it's a radio show that she's on, and it's built into this huge, it's called the Buff Show, and it's out of Central Orlando. So kudos to Matt Buff. I think that's what his first name is, Matt Buff and Brittany Walker. And, they go live, and they actually interviewed last week, and actually last night, who was it? Stone, President Trump's friend, whatever his name was, it Stone, last name Stone. They raided his house. His last name is Stone. I'm drawing a blank. But anywho, they interviewed him, and they also interviewed the head of what they call the right-wing pull boys, or whatever they call it, pull boys.
Oh, yeah. Proud Boys.
What is it? Proud Boys?
I think it's Proud Boys.
Proud Boys, that's what it is. Why am I saying pull boys? I'm thinking of pulled pork. None of that you have anything to do, but that's our segment about nothing, I guess. But anywho, so it was Enrique, whatever the head guy is of Proud Boys. They interviewed him, and never in her life, this is something again that was, she kind of joined as like a co-host about a year ago, and it's just mushroomed. And so the point being is that as an entrepreneur, sometimes you have the entrepreneurial spirit. You don't like working for somebody else. You want to work on your own time frame. But then all of a sudden, it derails into something even different, because you say, wow, I can truly impact people with things that I'm passionate about, that I know are going to impact others and help others. So it snowballs into this whole other project, which has been so much fun. We've met so many amazing people, and these are all just little stepping stones to, not to the end game, because the end game never ends, but to bigger and better things that we're working on. So there's this year is the last 12 months, it hasn't even been 12 months, but the last, say 11 months have been really more, seed planting, getting our foot, getting a schedule, the topics, the people that we want to connect with, and kind of we're kind of riding the different waves. There's all these different waves of what you do when you're passionate about something. So these are all stepping stones. So we started out small. We are still very small. So the kind of the world is our oyster. Like, we can go anywhere with these different subjects and people that we choose to. But along the way, we are showing our journey, because we want everyone who ever thought about doing something, and it doesn't necessarily even mean a podcast, whatever it may be, that I'm not going to throw that idea and I'm not going to bury it in the boneyard. I'm going to get it done before I leave this planet, impact the world, and really showcase that I do have a message, and that other people have messages, and they're so worth listening to or reading. Story. You always talk about the story behind the story. And that is so true on everything we are and everything that we do in our everyday life. So if you're a person that thought about doing a podcast, reach out, ask us. If you thought about just starting your own business, if you got passionate with a direct sales company, if you love to write stories, there's so many different things out there that do add value, that do inspire and add passion to your life, but also impact other people, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. And it just goes to show you that you don't need the fancy equipment. You just need the heart and the passion to start, because that will inspire somebody else to take action in their own lives. And that's really the message that we're trying to get out there. because, excuse me, we are not perfect, okay? Not by any means, but we have a passion and desire to help others. And how do we do that? Now, if we waited for the right time to have the right equipment, the right setup, we would have never started this. And today is, this is our 168th episode. And I think about that excuse me, 168 episodes. That's pretty amazing, just from a thought or idea. Hey, you want to start a podcast? Yeah, sure. You get it all set up. Okay, great. I had no clue what I was doing, but that's where the passion and the drive comes in, where you start cultivating. Hey, I don't know how to do this, but I'm sure as heck going to find out. And from that moment that I did the trailer for the opening of the podcast, and I think it was my 5th or 6th take, because I started cracking up and I thought through that process, who am I to be doing a podcast? And then I'm like, wait a minute, let me turn that around. I am someone who is passionate. We are together as a team. We are bountiful in our passion. And why not spread that around instead of other things during that time frame that we're spreading around, the China virus? But it just goes to show you, you don't need the perfect time.
Yeah, just had to do that.
Well, we didn't hear some of that.
The way it comes out, isn't that funny? Just China. I don't know. China. Kind of like the way that it says that. But we're also going to be entering a new phase with we are looking for sponsors. So if you have something that you want us to do, like a little jingle, a little commercial, whatever, and I'm going to share something today because it's Valentine's weekend. So Valentine, you have Valentine's Day, but don't you notice as you get older, holidays seem to, the celebration of the holiday lasts longer, whether it's your birthday, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Valentine's Day. So it's no longer just the day, it's like this whole weekend or several days. I know in particular, my daughter's brother-in-law, when he celebrates his birthday, it's like he's worse than a child. It's like a month worth of activities. And I think that's kind of funny because we all should be celebrating these moments because time isn't promised. Everyone talks about that. Time is not, it's just not promised. So when you are celebrating or you want to really drive home that passion, and why not on Valentine's Day, right? So kind of a funky, she wasn't prepared for this one, kind of a funky subject is those people that are older or live stressful, busy lives, and they don't take the time for that special time, that special passion, and you kind of get into a rut. Now, I know everyone can relate to that. Of course you can. It's human nature. It happens. Well, maybe not a guy. I think guys are like ready on command. They just are. I'm not sure that ever goes away. But, some men have issues too. And, it just happens that, and a part of it is your life gets so busy, you're in this relationship, this marriage, this partnership, whatever, for a long period of time. And, the champagne buzzles or the fizz or the heart pumping kind of, fizzles out a little bit, right? I mean, it just happens.
Are we talking, excuse me, are we talking about something that maybe we shouldn't be talking about?
And that's, that's part of health and wellness, right? Your sex life. But anywho, and part of that is we just don't spend the time to actually have that date, and you can have the date. And for some people now, because of the lingering of the China virus that people keep labeling pandemic, which we are not in anymore, they still, a lot of people still feel they are, and we respect that, are not going to go out on that date night. So why not bring date night in to your home? And how can you do that? Well, you can have a nice romantic meal. Make it a joint meal, not just the woman cooking in the kitchen, but the man cooking in the kitchen. Come up with different ideas of what the prep work is going to be. He's going to do the steaks, I'm going to do the sides, or I'm going to make a salad. He's going to make fish, your favorite meal. No, it's not. I know that. But whatever it is, shrimp cocktail. Now, a lot of people are really practicing alcohol-free, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do that quite often. But you still want a little bit of bubbly. Well, guess what? There's some nice bubblies out there that are alcohol-free that you can still enjoy and put in. And don't just put it in a regular glass. Put it in a champagne glass. Put it in a wine glass. You know what? If you're the person that's, staying away from hard alcohol, but you kind of still like those bubblies as well, and you're a club soda person, guess what? Take some, there's nice flavored club sodas out there now, seltzers, flavored seltzers, add a little lemon, lime, maybe some fresh fruit, doctor it up, make it look pretty, put it in a nice pretty wine glass. Set the table. Now, normally, a lot of families and a lot of couples eat on the run, even in this particular time frame, because, they're either busy working out of the house or helping the kids with homework or whatever. Set some special time where maybe you're going to eat in the dining room if you have a dining room, or if you're going to eat in your kitchen, use some pretty plates that you don't normally use. Maybe get some fresh flowers from the grocery store. You don't have to go to anything super fancy, but make sure that your presentation is there, that you're putting the time, the effort into it. And then, of course, now you get to the boudoir, right? Now, a lot of people find it really hard to kind of unwind. And I always say the romance starts outside of the bed. So a lot of people forget as they get older, the courting, the foreplay, the kind of, the dance before, the little nudges of dancing before you get to, going to the bedroom. And a lot of emphasis has to be, I think, put back on that, because those are the little things that get your engine going, number one. But number two, they're just, it feels good to do those kinds of things. It feels good to, maybe rub somebody's back. How about a great massage? Well, so anywho, I'm a big person of different oils. And when I came across this, I was like, whoa. So this is, I have a CBD infused massage oil, and it has 500 milligrams, but boy, it smells good. It feels good. Something that you can just, who doesn't like a massage, right? Your shoulders, your legs, your arms, wherever. I love it when John, will give a real good back rub. He's got stronger hands, with the shoulders. It feels good. But it also feels good to not just do it, oh, let me just grab some lotion. No, get some really, really good oil. So this little package is about, having a night in. So it starts off with this beautiful massage oil, CBD massage oil. How about a bath? Now, yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? No, I think it was yesterday. John was running errands. I thought, oh, I'm going to take a nice Boujee Bath during the day and just, 15 minutes. Doesn't have to be this long thing, but it just so relaxes you. So part of the kit comes with this beautiful Boujee Bath, and this is a CBD Boujee Bath, and it's called Cannabis. And the aroma, oh my God, all good natural things. The aroma is ylang. It's got some nice great oils, some coconut, got all these different essential things. Again, another way to relax you. So you may want to take your Boujee Bath and then get a nice massage with some nice oil. Now, how about those people that have a hard time? As you get older, sometimes you need a little help, right? So we also have a CBD lubrication, a lubricant. Some people need it. So why not, everyone's like shy to talk about it, but the point being, Jan went to video because she's probably cracking up. But the point being that sometimes you need that help. And why not have a great product that will help you out? So there's that. But then my two favorites, sometimes you need help just getting in the mood. So why not get in the mood with some blueberry pie and they're gummies, and they come in this cute little container. See, it's a cute little container. For those that cannot see that are listening, it's a cute little tin container, and it says "In the Mood." It is a libido energy gummy. So it's a CBD gummy, but it's infused with stuff that puts you in the mood, and the flavor is blueberry pie. Guy or girl, now I've heard some really crazy stuff about that, so I'm excited to try that one. And then there's the Cloud 8, which is very good. Actually, there's an article about a direct sale company taking over like the Cloud 8 and kind of breaking the molds of the brick and mortar. So this is Cloud 8, but it's pink bubbly. That's the flavor. So I'm going to open this one up, and you can see it. It actually looks like that champagne look. So that's called pink bubbly. So these are things that, you know what, whatever you choose to do for Valentine's Day and you're going to be staying in, why not have a little assistance, a little help to make it more romantic, to make it special, because you deserve it. We all do that. And if you want to know more information about this great Valentine's Day package, you can reach out to me directly. And I'll put a link below this podcast so you have a way to get a hold of me to understand a little bit more about that. But I thought, wow, what a nice, just something nice to kind of help that couple if they're not going out and making their night special. So you don't want to just say, okay, it's Valentine's Day, here's your box of chocolates, let's go do it. That's not romantic. But frankly, that's what happens as you get more into that relationship. It gets, I don't want to use the word stale, but it gets familiar. It gets almost automatic. So why not spice it up a little bit, add a little flair to it, but start off with outside the bedroom with that nice meal, working together towards the meal, like make it a really nice day. So I don't know. I just thought it was just a great idea. Romance, let's bring some romance into the world.
And here, I was just going to talk about my outfit and how I don't match.
Well, I just thought, why not? We got a few more days before Valentine's Day. Let's give our audience some tips on what to do and just bring a little, pleasure, romance, feel good. We all deserve that. We all need that. Don't you think? It's part of
absolutely. Absolutely.
Part of a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Now let's talk about my outfit now.
Well, let's go to her. I was talking about all romance and she wants to talk about her outfit. You go, girl.
Well, no, I just, I am not a morning person, even though, when I am going to the studio, I'm up at like 4 a.m. and, I'm at the 5 a.m. class, but woke up a little late this morning, just quickly got dressed, and the colors match, but it's like a busy pattern. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, what the heck did I just put on? But I'm like, well, they're not going to see the bottom part, but I have the top part on. It's, just an easy shirt, and it has some, and I got this over it because I'm a little cold, but, and I have my nice warm and very comfortable yoga pants on. But I'm curious to know, and it's a question for our audience, and I've seen a lot of chatter about this lately. How do you show up on video? I mean, are you dressed from the waist up and maybe just have your underwear on, or jammy pants or yoga pants? And I'm just curious, because when I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, well, it's a good thing I'm not going out, but I'm like, what the heck? Nobody's going to see me. So
for me, I do that. And there's actually a lot of bloopers that are online, different people, like especially, I see actually more of it with men than I do females, because females can get away with a tank, some yoga pants, obviously Florida, I'm in a tank, and because it's just warranted. And, it forces me to either know that I'm going to play pickleball or I'm going to some sort of workout in. Today, the morning workout is going to be housework. How boring, but it has to be done. But I have seen a lot of bloopers with men, like in a shirt and a tie, or a dressier shirt or a nice polo shirt, and then they stand up and they're in boxers, or they're BVDs or whatever the heck those things are called. And I find it funny, and I think it's you can only see this far up, so why not? Who really cares? Now,
Right. The funniest one.
and you're standing, and I've actually seen a couple of those where they probably forgotten that they really weren't properly dressed from the waist down, and not that they had clothes on, but it just obviously didn't match, or pajama bottoms, whatever. And I thought, this man forgot. He's not wearing a matching outfit, so it is kind of funny.
It is, but I remember probably a month into last year when we were in the midst of the pandemic, and the news reporters reporting from home, and this very one specific one, I don't remember her name, but she was doing something in her bathroom. Now she's standing at her mirror, so her mirrors were like this. And so of course you can see all different angles around her bathroom.
Yeah.
And her husband walks in buck naked, caught him on film because of the mirror, getting into the shower. And of course, when they were showing this video on Facebook, it was, of course, bleeped out. But I'm like, this is a professional. Like, what?
But what's funny about it is, and I think when you are a professional and you're used to the studio, the makeup person, the hair person, even the fashion person, because their fashion is picked out. They arrive very early in the morning. They have a whole team that are getting them ready. And then you have the lighting crew, the camera crew, the stage crew. So there's a whole layer of preparation that they're not used to doing. And we've chatted about that on a couple different episodes, where the entrepreneur that's working out of the home, establishing their business, they're more equipped in the sense of preparation than even a professional, because the professional doesn't do most of that stuff. They're working on their stories. Hopefully some are putting in some time to actually be a journalist, but we know that that's not really always happening in this day and age, that it's more of a drama show than it is actually reporting the news. But they're not used to the lighting, their background. In that case, she was in her bathroom, I believe. And when you have those trifold type mirrors, they do catch different angles. And she wouldn't have thought about that, but a set crew would have thought of it. So it's funny how they really had to pivot what they do for a living and go small scale, if at any scale at all, to do the lighting, the whole setup. So I think the homebody, the entrepreneur that decided, hey, I don't want to work for corporate America anymore. I don't want to work 9 to 5. I want to build my own dreams, my visions, and set up my own financial freedom. They are doing the kind of the nooks and the crannies of how to get it going. So I find it funny. And a lot of people do. That's one of the things, even people are afraid to go live on Facebook when they're first starting out, because they are very nervous. So we're going to give you a couple of quick tips before we end this Fantabulous Friday. One is, if you are doing a live, you want to make sure, and it's hard to remember this because a lot of shirts now have some good vibe type sayings. You want to make sure whatever you're wearing doesn't have any words on it. Depending on the camera, it's not going to do a mirror image and it's not going to look right. And then it's backwards, and it's a distraction for people. One of the other things is you don't have to worry about so much like a big stage. You can be like Jan's in her office. She's got her background. That is her background. I'm in a blank wall, but they do say it is good to have something not too busy, because again, you want the emphasis on the person speaking. Another thing that you want to consider is, a microphone. Now, a microphone does not have to be this very, there are a lot of expensive microphones, but you don't need to. I believe this one is probably about $25, $30. But what I like about it is it reminds me of the lighters that, are bendable. So it's bendable, it's long, so it's easy to use, but it also has a USB. So I could put this in an iPad, I could put this on a computer, and it's just very, very easy. And it wraps up and so easy to travel with. Something like that, but you don't even have to have a microphone to start out with. I prefer one because I think the sound comes out better. Those are little things. You also want to talk to people like you're only talking to them. That's probably one of the hardest things about even when you're doing your own talk, your own signature talk about your journey and why you chose to do whatever you're doing, is you think you've got to like talk to the masses, but the bottom line is to impact people, you want to make sure that you're talking almost one-on-one, that you want the person that's on the receiving end to feel like you're reaching out to them specifically. And you want to add humor, the bloopers, be yourself. Like, yesterday, as we were talking about, I went to touch the phone and I was on my cell phone doing the Zoom in the podcast and the phone fell. Now, shit happens. So you just pick up and just, I didn't stop talking. I just, oops, fell down, whatever, and you move on. So don't get flustered if something doesn't happen. Actually, that's being authentically you, and that's relatable to somebody that's looking to start their own podcast or even just doing a live. It wasn't perfect. It's not supposed to be. And probably the one key piece, which is probably the hardest piece for most people, that Jan and I are working very hard on, is not taking the time to pause when we're talking. Instead of using and that little phrase as a pause, actually just do the pause. And that's hard to do. And that comes with practice. But again, you're still being authentically you. You're showcasing that, hey, I'm learning. And just chat with people, be authentic and say, you know what, I screwed up, or that's not what I meant to say, or it came out wrong. And don't beat yourself up over the little things that happen, because they're going to happen, even with the professionals, with a naked husband in the background.
Absolutely. And on that note, we always want to hear from our listeners. And by the way, I think we do have somebody viewing today. Hey, Leanie, how are you?
Good morning, Leanie. How are you?
And
to Ann, one of our most loyal. We have actually a lot of loyal listeners, but she's so funny. She catches our podcast later in the day when she's doing her walk, and she'll message me something really funny, very relatable to what she listened to. So we so appreciate that. Don't you think it's so nice when you hear back from our viewers and our listeners?
It is, and we so appreciate that, because you are why we do what we do. And just a quick message for Ann. I'm out of potato chips. I haven't had any, but I'm out. And I'm dying for them.
To come for a visit so she can bring you some chips. And she'll bring me some, she makes the best homemade chocolate chip cookies, because she knows that's my thing, chocolate chip cookies. Jan's is chips. So speaking of that, because it's Fantabulous Friday, what is your favorite thing? What is your favorite snack? What are you going to do for this Valentine's Day? We actually have company coming in, our besties from New Hampshire. They're flying in today. So we're super excited. Jack and Liz, we hope you have a safe journey coming from the north to the south. And it's a good thing that you're coming, because word has it, the imposter in the White House is trying to, I guess, ban travel to Florida or from Florida. I'm not really sure which. Just Florida. I don't know why.
Oh, don't even get me started. We'll have to cover that on Monday. But on that note, we are the Two Sisters. We love what we do, and we encourage you to do the same. Contact us. Maybe you want to come on live with us and we can have kind of a round table chat. Wouldn't that be fun? My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva, and I am with TwoSistas.
So this is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, Lady Canna. Gonna get the mood on with this stuff. Give me a shout out, give me a message, and I'll get you some as well. But you enjoy Valentine's Day. Make sure that you take that time to let other people know. It doesn't even have to be a better half. Your children, your grandchildren, your friends, that you love them, that you're thinking of them, and that you're wishing them sweetness, hearts, and just a lot of love. So you guys have a great Fantabulous Friday, and we will see you on Monday for Monday Mindset. We'll see how everyone's mindset is after they've had that mood Valentine's Day. You guys take care.
Bye, everyone.